Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I am Everyone O'Shorty, and yes, I am actually back again. Hopefully a bit more regular this time. There's a few things else we want to talk about, including Blood and Thunder. And weirdly, I'm going to start by talking about the background of this book, because it turns out Robert Kirkman, whose name is literally there, like, fourth in the credits, created this comic book, or this character, or something like it. And it's kind of an odd one, because apparently what he created was a sci-fi character called Ulala Space Cop. But then it wasn't that, it was Blood and Thunder, but Blood was on the character and Thunder's with a gun, and she had blood around her head. It turns out none of that is really 100% relevant, because there was actually two other people with colorists and letters in there who actually did the comic book. Kirkman's name is on there in what feels like a very old-school Stan Lee kind of way, in the fact that he came up with a base concept, and then a bunch of other people put the work in and made the comic book, but it's Kirkman, so having his name on might make some more sales, I don't know. Certainly not why I picked it up. I picked it up, I genuinely like the cover, I like the title, and yes, Blood and Thunder is a good name for a comic book. I will give him credit for that one. And when I'm reading it, I do get a lot of good stuff from it. It's an action-packed comic book. The first intro to the characters, Blood and Thunder, two different characters. Blood being the femme with the huge red hair, and Thunder being her AI, well, not AI, probably like actually sentient gun is probably the best way to put it. And we get introduced to them in a very cool action chase sequence. We do not get passive posing, we don't get anyone standing around to look pretty. Image Comics saved that for the covers. Inside, though, she is full on just getting on with the job and being a total badass as she's doing it. And yeah, there is a kind of cliche of badass femme characters who are just, turning up and kicking ass and taking names and all that. And I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, I kind of get that it should not be the be-all and end-all of femme characters, but I don't mind it if, like, there's an intent here to do something with that. And there is absolutely intent here, because you cannot deny that this is a politically charged comic book. Not just because it's gone from being space cop to being somebody who does bounty hunting, which means the police are involved, but she never really got through basic training, but she still carries kind of like a state permission to be one of the people who's allowed to commit violence. So there's still definitely some stuff there, but more than that, more blatantly obvious than that, is the fact that this kind of takes place on a satellite world, where it seems to be, I don't know, maybe some artificial gravity or just gravity from the planet it's going around, but it still exists as an object with a top and a bottom, everything pointing up, gravity pointing down. It's kind of hard to, in my head, to figure out exactly how it works. I don't think gravity works that way. I think it might be artificial. But they use this very quickly just to tell the story of class and how economic levels change, where you can live, and what your experience will be. They do this by a very, very cool radio weather broadcast describing the lovely bright sunny day on the top and the fact that it's literally going to be excrement raining down on the people below. Very nice visual way of doing this as well, with a cab dropping down the various layers, cab looking like it's actually stationary, but it's very slowly moving through panels, each panel showing a different location, so there is still movement, the taxi just barely moving through it. Very nice way of showing a very slow progression of time through an area, and also very much on-the-nose social commentary. Now, I don't think that's all it's going to do in terms of this. There is also some stuff going to be about what it means to be police, who you're protecting and what you're protecting them from. There's this idea that the written word might be dangerous and needs to be stopped, and that's why they would send out bounty hunters. There's this idea that cops with their own sentient weapons prefer it when they don't get soft and refuse to kill people. Thunder the gun is not a killer. He is very clear about this. Well, I say he. I'm going to use he just for sake of ease. I don't know if that's really what it is, but it feels like Blood as femme, Thunder as mask kind of makes sense. But it does, again, say a little bit about what we expect from cops. Now, I'd like to think there's going to be a little bit more depth to it. There's been some very good commentary recently on the fact that black cops are still cops, and just because you are a femme doesn't mean you're not going to be part of an institution. But she at least is leaning towards being disruptive of that system, not getting fully into it, but existing on the fringes of it, which means she still gets some of the benefits of it. Her bubble of privilege is still encased within that, but I'd like to see where she's going to go from this. And we also have, like, huge sci-fi threats of a giant monster, which is kind of cool. Can't wait to see how that goes. Honestly, I really enjoyed this issue 1. I think the creators for it, Serrano Masasik, I believe is how you pronounce those names, have done a really, really good job with Kirkman's very, very basic intro, and I want to see where it's going to go from here. I hear from other people it's been selling out all over the place, so obviously I'm not the only one to think so. If you're lucky enough to have a store that has any stock, go and grab them. It's pretty good. But that's it for now. Until I see you all again, take the look after yourself, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.